Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. Federal waterway restoration dollars may soon help Chelan County reset the channel of Peshastin Creek. An East Wenatchee woman must report to jail by January 5th for allowing a 13-year-old girl to have inappropriate contact with a jail inmate. Quiet, cloudy weather on tap once again tomorrow with rain and rain mixed with snow in the forecast for Friday. Authorities have identified the suspect shot by Wenatchee Valley police late Sunday after an incident at the local Veterans Clinic. 54-year-old Troy McMaster of East Wenatchee remains hospitalized after being shot multiple times by police who stopped his vehicle on Eastmont Avenue about 11:15 p.m. on Sunday. McMaster had allegedly rammed the Veterans Affairs outpatient clinic with his vehicle and fired shots into the building. When his vehicle was stopped, police say he was still holding a firearm and nearby officers opened fire. While in medical care, he's been arrested on suspicion of first-degree assault, malicious mischief, and unlawful discharge of a firearm. The police use of force is being reviewed by the North Central Washington Special Investigation Unit. The officers who opened fire have not been identified. An after-action report by the Chelan-Douglas Health District finds that staffing and high turnover hampered the agency's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. The two-county Board of Health received the finished report on Monday. In part, the review found that the agency's funding didn't keep pace with the inflation from 2000 to 2022, a period in which staffing was cut nearly in half. That's limited its ability to respond when COVID-19 reached the Wenatchee Valley that year, and external incident and management teams came on board to manage the crisis. Outreach to Hispanic residents was also limited. The report recommends steps to reinforce the health district for a future crisis. More than 15,000 Washingtonians have died from COVID-19 since March of 2020. You can find a copy of the after-action report on the Health District website. Confluence Health has named Dr. James Murray as the new Chief Medical Officer. Murray has been serving as the interim CMO since the departure of Dr. Jason Lake this July, but is now officially assuming the role. The position is part of Confluence Health leadership team and focuses on helping the organization provide safe and effective health care to the region. Murray has been with what is now Confluence Health since 2005. He's being promoted to CMO from his previous role as Medical Director for Inpatient Medicine and Core Medical Director for Specialty and Ancillary Medicine. Federal waterway restoration dollars may soon help Chelan County reset the channel of Peshastin Creek. The Wenatchee River tributary has been separated from its historic floodplain since it was rerouted in the 1950s to make way for Highway 97 to Blewett Pass. Chelan County Natural Resources wants to reconnect that channel, which could increase steelhead and Chinook spawning habitat in the lower reaches of the creek. On Tuesday, Interior Secretary Deb Haaland said her agency will grant the project nearly $769,000 for initial study and design. Construction is yet to come, but past estimates have put the total cost of correcting the channel and installing two necessary bridges at about $17 million. The town of Leavenworth got a national spotlight again this week with a visit from Good Morning America. The ABC morning show characterized the Bavarian village as, quote, the most Christmassy town in America, with highlights including the Village of Lights display, the Leavenworth Reindeer Farm, and the stream of winter tourists who visit the locale each holiday. It's at least the third time Good Morning America has featured the city during Christmas season. It's also been a stopover for NBC's Today Show as well as CBS Sunday Morning. If you missed it, you can watch today's Good Morning America segment on the show's Facebook page. When we come back, the Grant County Sheriff's Office says it will rebuild its canine program in 2024 and take over the full cost of running it. Earlier today, the Washington State Department of Commerce announced that the Okanagan County Child Development Association has been named one of 18 Washington organizations set to receive a combined $2 million in child care partnership grants. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCWLIFE would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
The Grant County Sheriff's Office says it will rebuild its canine program in 2024 and take over the full cost of running it. For 9 years, the department's dog training and handling was funded entirely by donations. Sheriff Joe Crete said this week that that model was not sustainable, and his new annual budget will pay for 2 new canines and designate 2 deputies as handlers. Right now, the agency is down to 1 canine officer after 3 sheriff's dogs retired from service this year. The 2 new dogs are expected to be in service by October after their training is complete. Earlier today, the Washington State Department of Commerce announced that the Okanagan County Child Development Association has been named one of 18 Washington organizations set to receive a combined $2 million in child care partnership grants. The grant program began in 2020 with the goal of funding organizations that can directly aid in expanding affordable, high-quality child care to underserved communities. The funding awarded to each of the grant recipients will be split into 2 years. The Okanagan County Agency, which provides school programs and resources to local children and families, is set to receive $75,900 for year number 1 and an additional $60,300 in year 2. An East Wenatchee woman must report to jail by January 5th for allowing a 13-year-old girl to have inappropriate contact with a jail inmate. Raquel Ann Rudolph, age 43, was sentenced today in Douglas County Court to 9 months in jail with an option for work release. Rudolph pleaded guilty last month to 5 misdemeanor counts of violating a protective order, which spared her a trial on felony charges. Back in 2021, Rudolph allowed the child to communicate with Kellen Allen Crabtree, who was in jail and prohibited from contacting the girl by a court order. During multiple phone and video calls, Crabtree made sexually explicit or suggestive comments to the girl. He's now serving 7.5 years for immoral communications with a minor. In addition to jail time, Rudolph must pay an estimated $700 in fines and court costs and serve 2 years on probation. Coming up next, it's the end of an era as Wenatchi Wear, the Indigenous-owned and inspired clothing and apparel store, will close its doors at the end of this year. More in tonight's feature story. Expect the return of wet weather as we get into Friday. That and your Christmas outlook coming up in your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
Whatever the holidays mean to you, get the most out of them in a new Honda. Whether it's taking in the lights with all your friends in a spacious Accord, or taking in a snow day in a rugged CRV. Your holiday adventure awaits with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
It's an end of an era. Wenatchi Wear, the Indigenous-owned and inspired clothing and apparel store that first opened in 2019, will be retired at the end of this year. Owner Mary Big Bull Lewis made the announcement earlier this month, saying that she's proud of which has come from owning a business like Wenatchi Wear, but the advocacy work has been, quote, laborious. The Wenatchi Wear store will become the evergreen gift shop in February, where the work of Indigenous and non-Indigenous artists will be sold. In tonight's feature story, NCWLIFE News spoke with Big Bull Lewis to learn more about the closing of one chapter and the opening of the next.
The reason why we decided to move on was we've been doing Wenatchi Wear for 5 years now, and it's time to dedicate my time into resources of community, which that was the goal of Wenatchi Wear, was to create community, and it's done that plus some more. And IRF, our nonprofit, was sprouted from Wenatchi Wear, and so when we have multiple people that can kind of take on the advocacy roles, it makes the work a little bit easier. It's been really rewarding as far as what we've accomplished in the short amount of time that we've been doing Wenatchi Wear and IRF. But it's also very draining. Being advocate, pairing that with a small business is very isolating because it's me, and it's not meant to be that, but it's meant to bring people together. And so I think that I'm really proud of everything that Wenatchee Wear has accomplished, and it doesn't change who I am as a person because we're changing the name. I'm still a Native artist, Indigenous woman living on the homelands, and I'm still an entrepreneur. And we decided to change to make it a little bit easier on myself versus having to explain what is Wenatchi Wear, because people don't know, and that's a curious question, and that's a valid question. My time and energy and knowledge are valuable, and so I'm really focusing on where that will be most honored, and I think that this new change is going to help us get there. The Evergreen Gift Shop, I wanted it to have gift shop in the name because it says what it is, and there's no explanation really. We're still going to carry authentic Native and Indigenous artists, and we're also opening it up to other artists in the area. It's really going to allow us to be more creative and not restrictive as far as like stories and partnering with that, and then repeating that every day to multiple people. So it'll allow us to just be artists and be creative, and that's really what we want to do.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great Wednesday, and what we're seeing here on our screen, this is our Billy Goat Sky-Fi Tower camera. Yes, Pateros is under that cloud deck, as well as the Columbia River, also the Methow River, also the city of Brewster. You can just see Mount Kalispell along the U.S.-Canadian border, and this is what we had here in the Wenatchee Valley throughout the day today. It really kept our temperature down. We're going to have one more day day of this, and then by the time we get into Friday, yeah, some snow will move into parts of our viewing area. We're talking mainly up around the Winthrop area. Some of that may move into Omak, and we are talking very light snowfall, but that isn't the case over in Stevens Pass. If you are traveling west, Stevens Pass, 4 to 6 inches of snow is possible as we move through the day, overnight into Friday and into Saturday. So travel not so great at that period if you're traveling this holiday period, but it will get better as we get into Saturday, and we'll talk about that in a second. High temperature today, as I mentioned, with that cloud deck, we didn't warm up quite like we thought we would today. 38 unofficially our high. 32 is where we should be for this time of year. Once again, second day in a row, beautiful one. Back in 2020, 51 degrees. 34 was our low this morning. 24 is normal, so way above for our normal low. And our record, 7 below zero, and that was set in 2008. Okay, we have a total now from that rain that we received Monday night into Tuesday, and it's 1/4 of an inch, which now gets us to 6.14 inches for the year. Not too bad, but consider this. Last year at this time, we were at 8.89 inches of moisture. So while we're just barely below where we should be, well below where we were last year at this time. Sunrise 7:45, and the sun set this afternoon at 4:12. All right, let's get you into Thursday. Temperature-wise, I think we're going to see less of this low cloud deck tomorrow. That should enable almost all of us to get to near 40. Columbia Basin should get there. 42s for Moses Lake and Ephrata. 41 your high in Quincy tomorrow, and then 40s to low 40s from Wenatchee all the way up into Omak, and we're talking mainly upper 30s then from Leavenworth to Cashmere. As we take a look at tonight, we do expect patchy drizzle. We did see a little bit of that this morning. It's mainly freezing fog that's falling from the sky. Cloudy skies overnight tonight. We'll see lows mainly into the mid-30s. There is high pressure nosing into the Pacific Northwest, but notice this area of low pressure. It's going to track across southern Canada, and by Thursday night into Friday, we're going to see some rain showers begin to develop. High pressure out in the Pacific will follow that, but here is that low, and we're going to see a lot of clouds and a lot of shower activity associated with that on Friday. Might see some rain mixed with snow, 70% chance of the wet stuff. High temperatures still fairly mild into those upper 30s, and then Saturday, this, folks, is your travel day. Sunny skies all across Washington state. It'll be dry. High temperatures right around that 40-degree mark. Sunday, Christmas Eve day, is when we begin to cool off a little bit. We will see another storm begin to push in. There will be some activity, mainly in western Washington, so I'm not as confident that we're going to see the wet stuff Christmas Eve as I was last night. High temperatures in the mid-30s. For Christmas Day, we talked about a decent chance for rain. That is now down to 20% on Christmas Day, and that'll mainly be morning rain and snow showers. Cloudy skies with high temperatures on Christmas into those mid-30s. And then for Tuesday, look at the size of this low pressure off the Pacific Northwest coast. That will begin to push some clouds our way on Tuesday. It'll also bring us about a 30% chance of rain and snow with high temperatures on Tuesday into the mid-30s. All right, let's take a look now at your 7-day forecast. Overnight tonight, 34 degrees. Carbon copy is today for tomorrow. I think a little bit warmer though, 40 for our high, and then a wet one on Friday. We'll see a rain-snow mix with a high temperature of 39. Quiet weather. This is our best travel day on Saturday. Sunny and nice. We'll see highs about 40, and then cooler weather for Sunday and 34 before a slight chance for rain mixed with snow moves into our forecast for Christmas Day, and once again on Tuesday with high temperatures in the mid-30s. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
In Digital Media Arts program, we learn about video production gear and editing by the combination of class projects and nonprofit work and employment.
Over there.
It makes things happen.
Yeah.
It's pretty magical.
We work in the industry at the Wenatchee Road, NCWLIFE channel, and the Town Toyota Center events. Every day we work with industry standard equipment for a hands-on learning experience.
As Chelan's premier lifestyle store, Willow, find unique home decor, clothing, jewelry, and more. Come visit for a welcoming and memorable shopping experience.
Deepwater Electronics is your one-stop shop for the latest in TV and sound technology. Whether you build your home theater or let them do it for you, Deepwater Electronics is the clear choice.
The switch is on to T-Mobile. Get the best 5G experience and the customer service you depend on. Only at Chelan Wireless in downtown Chelan.
Seahawks fans are still buzzing about Seattle's 20-17 win over the Eagles on Monday Night Football. Drew Lock led a 10-play, 92-yard drive, culminating at a 29-yard touchdown pass to Jackson Smith-Njigba. The Seahawks put together a video highlighting that final drive.
Hurts. Incomplete. 4th and 7. This is essentially the ball game here. You know, Seattle has one timeout. For Seattle, it's 1st and 92 yards.
For a diving catch made by DK out of the 35-yard line.
Lock, end zone, it is caught, touchdown, Seattle.
There were actually two miraculous catches in the closing moments of Monday's win. The first, of course, Smith-Njigba's touchdown grab. The second was the game-saving interception by Julian Love.
Lock, end zone, it is caught, touchdown, Seattle. Now Smith-Njigba has put the Seahawks on top. "29 yards to the rookie, his third touchdown catch of the year. What a throw by Drew Lock."
Well, Sidney Brown's trying to disguise coverage. He drops down. Lock recognizes that he's got one-on-one, and it's just, there's nothing really to the route other than he's just running a flat go route. And Smith-Njigba, that's a great job of reeling it in.
They put a second back on the clock. 13 ticks left. They're going for it all with A.J. Brown. Catch is made by Seattle for the interception. Julian Love again. And the question is, did he get both feet down? If he didn't, 6 seconds remain for Philadelphia.
Yeah, it did not look from here that he did, but let's take a closer look.
No. John Perry. Check out the left toe, Joe.
Yeah, his heel was an interception.
The left toe is down, and the right foot is in.
It's all about the toes. He's got two with control, survives the ground.
When he comes over and he clips the leg, I think that's what got his left foot down.
Let's look at this again, though, and make sure that the toes actually touch the ground. It is close.
Sure looks like it to me.
Yep. They'll try to find the pellets with that little toe tap right in the beginning
After review, the ruling on the field does stand as called. It's an interception. First down, Seattle.
Seattle with a takeaway, and the Seahawks are going to snap their 4-game losing streak and send the Eagles to their third straight loss.
Seattle heads for Tennessee Sunday to face the Titans at 10 a.m. on CBS. The big question for Coach Pete Carroll this week is whether Drew Lock will start or will it be Geno Smith? Well, the Seattle Kraken are back on the ice tonight in Los Angeles. Seattle is at Crypto.com Arena to face the Kings coming up at 7 o'clock. Kraken trying to bounce back from an overtime loss at Dallas a couple of nights ago. You can watch the action on TNT. Gonzaga's men's basketball team is now ranked 15th in the country after last week's loss to UConn. They'll be home tonight at the McCarthy Athletic Center to host Jackson State. That'll be at 6 o'clock on ESPN+. Washington State women on the road earlier today at Auburn. 20th ranked Gonzaga also earlier today played at Arizona. We'll get those scores for you tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. 23rd rated Washington women playing at number 19 Louisville. That game is underway. Checking the Les Schwab boys basketball scoreboard from last night. Ferris had no trouble downing Moses Lake 78-54. Chelan edged Kashmir 53-48. Quincy Cruz passed Cascade 88-34. Omak won the backyard brawl over Okanagan 78-49. Then B action last night on the boys side. Lake Roosevelt controlled Mapton 84-54. Moses Lake Christian bounced Bridgeport 86-71. Brewster rose up to beat Reardon 85-50. Manson claimed a 55-34 win over Elmira Cooley Heartline. Odessa beat Entiat 77-46. Soap Lake edged Waterville Mansfield 53-46. And Riverside Christian down Wilson Creek by a final of 64-27. The Moses Lake girls came close but not quite against Ferris last night, falling 41-40. Chelan edged Kashmir 42-37. Quincy got by Cascade 45-40. Okanagan demolished Omak 70-8 on a busy night for the small schools last night. Mapton down Lake Roosevelt 68-40. Republic rang Liberty Bell 45-17. Bridgeport beat Moses Lake Christian 56-29. Brewster rallied for a 67-42 win over Reardon. Elmira Cooley Heartline topped Manson 46-19. Odessa claimed a 64-39 win over Entiat. Soap Lake edged Waterville Mansfield 24-21. Wilson Creek beat Riverside Christian 46-19. Now on the schedule today, earlier this afternoon, Ephrata was facing Palo Verde at Liberty High School. Moses Lake Christian hosting Entiat. The 6 o'clock games have Pateras at Manson. Bridgeport faces Odessa at Moses Lake Christian. Eastmont hosts Spanaway Lake, and Rogers Puyallup plays at Wenatchee. For the boys, slate tonight underway already. Entiat facing Bridgeport at Moses Lake Christian. Waterville Mansfield's hosting Columbia Stevens. The 7:30 games have Odessa at Moses Lake Christian, Meads at Eastmont, and the Wenatchee boys are hosting Spanaway Lake. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Have a happy Wednesday.
On the next edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, just because it's winter doesn't mean you can't think about your garden. There's even things you can do right now during the dead of winter and the shortest days of the year. Bonnie Orr will be my guest, the do's and don'ts of all the things indoor and outdoor garden and lawn care. You can do it this time of the year, believe it or not.
Gardening it year-round is why not.
Can.
Yeah.
That's why we live here. Bonnie Orr on the next edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.
Hello, television family. Grab your cup of coffee each weekday morning and join me. I'm Dan Kuntz, the host of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's everything you need to start your day. We're live and we're local at 7 a.m. every weekday on the NCWLIFE channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom, the sports director for the NCWLIFE channel. We're here at Eastmont High School. We're going to be at Wenatchee High School. We've got basketball. We've got wrestling. It's all winter long. While you're out freezing your hind end off, we're inside staying warm. It's right here on the NCWLIFE channel.